Here very soon, we're starting to get like obviously Cat Burkett's here. I have not seen the other Commander Valente,
I've not seen him. Captain Jackson's here.
and that's just what I'm trying to avoid is have them.
Oh, yeah.
We kick it off, and then they got to come in here.
Well, you know what I like, right?
That mic is now live.
Huh?
That mic is now live.
Oh,
This mic is now live.
Okay.
Is that right?
okay.
I just didn't want you guys.
Okay.
I didn't say any curse words.
That wasn't my point. Just,
I didn't turn on my bosun mate. So.
I turned it on and then I was like, I better go tell
Okay,
those gentlemen.
good.
All right, we'll give it a few more minutes because everybody's really.
Yeah, they're all very schmoozing.
Yeah.
So it's 6:45. So I'd say if you're cool with it, you want to do it like around like 50. Give it 10 minutes and say, hey, start herding them, get them settled down.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you want to just take a look at what they had prepared for you?
Yes. So, Darren Lewis is going to read this. Whoops, sorry. Is going to read the prologue to it, and then yours will actually be right there.
Okay, let me make sure I can read that.
Okay.
Full realization of the demands of your office in terms of time, travel, and dedication. If you're willing to accept this honor, please repeat the pledge after me. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. State, solemnly swear, support. I think I can read that. Congratulations. Okay.
All right.
Otherwise, you'll be borrowing your glasses.
I asked him if he had.
You did. I was like, I don't have to read anything today.
I have my.
I'm sorry for doing that to you.
Oh, that's okay.
No, that's good. I'm happy to do whatever we can.
And you know, I have gone places where I don't remember anything, and then my wife would go, "Why don't you carry an extra pair?" And I go, "Where am I going to carry them?"
It's good to see you. Oh my gosh. How long has it been?
Since the CCTI.
Oh,
Scott, good to see you again.
See, I bring Melanie, but she's over there talking and engaged. So.
no, I was like, she looks so busy. I'm like, I don't know. And I'm sometimes I'm good with faces. And I knew. I'm like, I'm the next one.
You did. Just Ron is my auxiliary personnel there. Since comes to everything, examiner, he does ranger, underway stuff.
I don't know.
Volume for this market.
Turn that down again. It's not. Must be something. Might be a generator.
Is this on?
Huh?
It's not even on.
I don't even think it's on, but this is.
That's Darren.
Yeah, it's online. We're online live. Yeah, I think so. Because he came by and said it. By the way, it's on.
Right. So do we just want to have a quick coordination here? And
Yeah.
We know what we're doing.
So I showed her, Admiral about the portion that he's going to do here. Okay.
And do you want invocation added there? So you
Yeah, because and I'm talked to Gail
after
too.
introduction. Oh, right here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who we have doing the remembrance table? That's the only thing.
So because I was messing about with the live stream, I have copies. Does that one look okay?
That looks fine.
Okay. I was going to ask the decaps to do it, but it's a little late in the running from thing to thing. So that's a call we can make right now. I can certainly do it. We can ask. Should we just ask Deb to do it?
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be great. We're gonna have the guild porters doing the invocation, and then we have a remembrance table. We're gonna see about having Deborah.
Okay.
That.
Okay.
And I don't know who's actually, well, we don't need him. So where's the remembrance table?
I don't think we have one.
Where's the remembrance table at?
What's that?
Remembrance table.
Yeah, I guess we're not doing that.
We might have to skip it at this point.
Yeah, because we don't have a base and everything. We have a base, but I don't know which container it's in.
Yes, that's the same. Now, there was an independent.
It's been a while since I can tell.
I just honestly,
At
this point,
Yeah, I don't want to do it. You know
just
why.
skip it. And like I said, there, I mean, the one discrepancy I noted was between the conference schedule that we put out just for everybody, and this is just off by 30 minutes. So, like,
I think what we had here is we really had 1830 to 1900 originally. Okay.
So we got time?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
We're-
Just remember that this thing is still live, so.
hi there.
do we have time for what? Like to try to get the remembrance table soon?
No. We're not.
No,
gonna-
we're-
yeah, scratch
we
that.
don't believe.
Yeah.
We don't believe in last minute.
Yeah.
I'm not that crazy.
Yeah, I don't want to be rushing.
You'd be pulling my crew ticket if I was going to try that out. It's like you showed poor judgment. I was glad I got to see it at a meeting, not on the water. Yeah.
A couple more minutes and we'll start getting everybody started down.
So, Tiny, would you like me to get everybody settled and then hand the floor to you?
Do that, I'm just gonna tap it however we want to
So I'm
do
gonna
it.
walk through
Okay.
it. I'll be loud. I'll do my ladies and gentlemen thing, and then.
Oh, you know what, too? And right after dinner, we can do one more round for ticket buying. too.
Did you want me to go get you a shot of tequila?
So if I do that, I won't stop. You gotta understand, I love. It just don't love me. Okay.
All right, well, I saw we got both those sixes in here. I haven't seen Commander C.
Okay, Captain Cheetah was up there.
Okay.
Yeah. But Commander Valenti, I never did
So
see.
Captain Cedar,
Captain Jackson, you saw him and his wife.
did he bring his wife? Or
Yeah.
is that his wife?
That's his, yeah.
And then Commander Valente is here.
Mr. Mathis. No, I haven't seen him.
Hey, we're doing the table remembrance. I didn't think so. I couldn't find it anywhere. Okay.
Yeah, we were just went through that, but we're having an invocation because Gail's here, so yeah. It's so good to just see people, you know.
Right. And nobody's sitting there waiting, like, let's get it going.
Right. That's the reason I haven't been that much of a rush. Yes, sir.
I can stop running around like a chicken. I decided now is not the doctor.
Huh?
Did you find the swearing document?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Mr. Cool had that.
Besides, I like to show off my fancy paper.
I noticed that. They even got comments on it in the division commander training. Have you seen this? It's about 1/4 inch thick. Yeah. New resume. That's thick paper. He had us going. The division commanders, oh, I noticed the thickness of that, which was good on their part, you know.
Every little bit.
Yes, sir.
So you're carrying that $200,000 budget there. You're smart guy. You're paying.
That's him, not us. That's where we got it. No, you know what? So my predecessors, they squashed like crazy for the members doing anything.
Right.
Didn't make sense, so I'm trying to. Yeah, design.
So we're at minute 55.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do introduction of the guest, and then we'll do the invocation, and then we'll have dinner, and then after dinner we'll do the swearing in and giving out those streamers and stuff. I'm gonna in a minute. Go ahead, sir.
So after dinner, I'll do the comments, and then we'll do the.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So,
Or are we doing the swearing in before the comments?
no, we'll do it after the comments.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, sir.
Good to see you. You're a bigger person in person.
Yeah, that's the reason I don't get in trouble. I just go like
I know.
this.
It was funny. I was in there. The chief of staff, Captain Sabo. He's a fairly tall, statured guy, and then the master chief is as well. So they both invited me into a Teams call that they had. So I walk in, and both of them, I'm like down here, thinking about this much. I'm like, can you lower the camera down a little bit? Help a brother out here. It's literally a talking head.
Yeah, Captain Sabo's tall, but I didn't think about it. The Master Chief is.
Yeah,
too.
he's a big guy too. Anyway, all right, good.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Other?
All right. I think I'm gonna start.
Can we get them together already?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you will find your seats, please.
So I got to turn this on too. I don't think it's on.
Introduction of the Admiral's wife as well.
Huh?
Introduction of the Admiral's wife on your list as well.
All right. So her name's Mimi, and what is Captain Jackson? Huh? Oh, that's fine. Wait a minute. Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, we want to.
Hey, what's Captain Jackson's wife's name?
I'm going. I have a name tag.
Okay, I need that before I.
Yeah, Jackson. Commander is not coming
Okay.
He had a colonoscopy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's her name?
MELANO.
Melanie?
Melanie?
Yeah.
MELANO.
Yeah.
She's sitting there.
Okay.
Could you make an announcement asking for this Steve Bergman? I don't know him, and his district says another district.
You know what? I don't know him, but I'd take a guess. See in the back table back there, the bald-headed guy? And I don't know him at all. I bet you that's him. All right. If everybody can get to their seats, I'd appreciate it. Yeah. Hello.
Is it on?
Yeah.
That wasn't him. I don't know if you'd ask if he's in here.
Okay. All right. It's first of all, it's great to see everyone. This first time since February of 2020 that we have this many people are having dinner together. So fantastic. Okay. So what I'd like to do is introduce our guest tonight. We have Rear Admiral Bublis is here with his wife Mimi, and we have Captain Jackson with his wife Melanie over here at this table. He's the Sector of Sector Columbia River. Sorry, sir. Commander. And over here we have Captain Cedarholm, who is the Deputy Commander for Puget Sound. And as he reminded me, only 9 days more. Okay, so good for him. But anyway, it's great to have all of you here, and we're not going to keep you a long time. Oh, and we have our OTO. If I forget him, he's going to shoot me in the, you know what. All right. But Chief Warrant Officer Robinson, and he has did a lot of work to make this happen too. He had to get all of our orders put together. So he is the acting Dyrox, he's the yeoman, and he's also the OTO. So many hats going there. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. So what I'd like to do now is have Reverend Gail Porter come up and give the invocation, if you don't mind.
It is good to see so many people here together. Please bow your heads while I pray. Gracious and living God, thank you for this opportunity for fellowship, Lord God, and this opportunity to experience and be in excitement for each of the awards that are being given out, Lord God. It is just such a blessing to be able to celebrate with others. As we eat this meal, Lord, we thank you for nourishing us, and we thank you for this place that prepares all this wonderful food. I ask your blessing in your precious name. Amen.
Thank you. And I wanted to make sure that I didn't forget two of our honored guests here also, which is Captain Burkett, okay, the Prevention Chief, and also we have the National Commodore, Alex Maluski, and we have the Deputy National Commodore for the PAC area, who's Mary Kirkwood. And my brain will catch up with my mind in a minute, okay? So with that, let's enjoy dinner, and then afterwards we will have some great speeches coming, okay? Thank you. Okay.
Oh, yeah. You asked? Oh, my God. Well, they're crazy down here. I'm from there. They're crazy there. They sure did. They sure Yeah. Yes, yes. Okay, and everything.
So what do you see when you guys see all kinds
Oh, is it really? Oh, that's exciting. Yeah. That's motivation.
They want to more well done.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, no, we always do that, we always Oh, did you? Always gotta celebrate after those things, right?
I was just excusing myself. It's like, yeah, it's like, we don't get started, we're going to be here till midnight.
Yeah. So I didn't know what you wanted to. I'm gonna let you. You can. I'm gonna give a few comments and then
We run through the list.
run through the list.
Okay. Well, let me circulate and see where everybody is. I think we're ready.
I got to talk when you turn it off. Yeah, but it's not on here.
Is it on?
Yeah, it's got the little button there. I think it's on.
Michael's further back. Back there.
What's that?
Oh, you went back there and turned it down?
I saw someone in the Hummer ready. Somebody was going to see our system. It was feeding back.
Right.
So they went down and turned it off. Turned it down to the main system.
This is off right now or not?
I know it's turned
Yeah, I
on.
think it is because it's not picking up at all.
What's that?
I would say it's on, but the volume back there has been turned down.
He told me to use the mixer back here.
Pardon?
Mike told me to use the mixer back here.
It's not on.
Somebody got help?
Mike's card on it. I'm looking for the guy's card.
Oh, they're going back there. Somebody.
What's Dennis doing? I know it's fire heat.
Do we have the list of awards as well?
Yes, right here.
We're going to test, keep testing. We're going to keep testing. We'll keep testing, testing. Testing, 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 testing. Testing. Whoever did that, we're not ready yet.
Unless we get one of those megaphones, you know.
Testing.
I just need somebody that's got a louder voice than me.
What's happening? Not working.
Somebody had a back feed or something.
Somebody played with the system, so we're just working on it.
Are we doing it ourselves or do we need some?
They're asking for help, so the guys back there are standing around. Testing. Testing. Okay, there they go.
If I could yell a little louder, it'd be okay. Already? Hello, let's see how that's going.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now let's have one class. Bless you all. I'm actually going to put the mic back up here so that if somebody is watching the Somewhat Broken live stream, they will know we can all talk. So for our folks who are remote and not with us tonight, we miss not having you here. And you're probably going to want to watch the recording of this event rather than try to watch the live stream. We had a little bit of technical difficulty. So there's audio going out, but very poor cameras. So if you're out there, thank you for your patience. And check out the video when it's ready, once we've edited it and got rid of all of me babbling up here for hours on end. So with that in mind, let me turn the floor over to our district Commodore. Commodore.
Thank you.
Thanks, Darren. Well, I'm going to reiterate what I said earlier. It's fantastic to see everyone out here. And thank you for coming. And thank you to the Rear Admiral and his wife, and to Captain Jackson, Captain Cedarholm, and of course our OTO for everything he did. But what I do want to say is that hopefully I get the feeling that you can almost feel that things are changing. It's like people are wanting to get out. People are wanting to do things. And so that's such a great relief compared to like, ooh, I don't know if I want to do this, or maybe I ought to hold back for another month, you know? Well, there's no holding back. It was interesting because that John, who does the talking points, the Dyrox had asked him for the points and stuff. And I looked at what it was 2 or 3 months back compared to now, and it had almost doubled in certain cases. All right. So to me, that means we're ready. all right? And the boating public's ready for us. You know, I've said this all along, and I know that the National Commodore tell you we do other things, and we do, okay? And hopefully we do them as good as we do the stuff that we've been doing. But who we owe it to is the boating public. You heard Mary Ann last night from the state of Oregon talk about that in 2020, there was 26 deaths or fatalities in Oregon alone. And in our district as a whole in the 4 states, there was 58 fatalities, okay? And I think district-wide, I don't care where we live in Oregon or Washington or Idaho or Montana, it's what goes on is for our whole district. But Mary Ann did say last night in 2021, we had about a 25 to 28% less fatalities than we did in 20. But we were still not out there. We weren't doing public education courses other than virtually. So instead of reaching, 1,500 to 2,000 people a year teaching them boating education, we were only getting a hold to like 500 or 600. All right. Now that's still 500 or 600 that we did. But then when we get to vessel exams and program visits and what does it mean? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, every time that I do a vessel exam, I talk to that individual, and especially if their kids are there, if their kids are there, I love it. You know what I'm going to talk about? I want you to get your parents to have their life jackets on. I told Mary Ann last night, and I've said this a million times, I think someday it's going to be mandatory no matter what that a life jacket is on. You want to talk about saving lives, because we ran the statistics, and I've given this so many times. John can tell you, I do a review when I do these public education courses, and I do it by heart, and I'll ask 80 questions within a matter of about 15 minutes, all right? But here's what it is. Of the deaths that there was, say like in 2020, there was like 454 nationwide total deaths. Of that, almost 78% of them did not have life jackets on. All right, so if we want to talk about something that we can talk about to the boating public and everybody that we talk to, is to talk about life jackets. I know the people in this room know what I say for every class that I start. And it's honest truth. I say to my students that'll be sitting in that class, I'll say, if you just retain 10 to 15% of what I teach you in the next few hours, okay, I'm either going to save your life, one of your family, one of your friends, or I'm going to save somebody you didn't even know through you, okay? So when we're out there, the job that we have to do are 2 things, okay? We have 2 main clients. We have the recreational boating public, and we have the United States Coast Guard. And what I'm loving to see is we're starting to get requests to do other things, even in our district, And hopefully that lends back to the thing that when we're doing these items, that we're helping other people have a safer time. We know this. When do accidents normally happen on the water? The nicest day in the world. What is the cause? Falling off and drowning. That is the main causes there is. If you broke it down and made it simple, and I know that I'm talking talking to the wall because that all of you think the same. Hopefully you do. All right, but we kind of gotten rusty a little bit because we haven't been out there. That's my concern about us being on the water, about us going on patrols and stuff like that. We've really got to mitigate our risk, okay? Some of the things that I hope in the future, our RSSOs will actually be staff members and where they're recognizable for the work they do. And we've got to make sure that our people's safe too. So we can't make the public safe unless we're making ourselves safe, all right? And the only way we do that is by getting back to being in practice. What I call being in practice is we're out there talking to the marine dealers. We're talking to the people with their boats in the marinas, and that's anywhere from a 14-footer, okay? Because it may only, if it's got a 10 horsepower on it, I guarantee you in the state of Oregon, they're going to have a boating safety card, right? How many of you go into a marine dealer location and give them your card and say, hey, when they buy a new boat, okay, how about having them give me a call and let me give them a boating education class? How many times do you get a call from one of these marine dealers saying, hey, I get them, Tiny, do you mind coming by and talking to this couple that's picking up their boat? And I don't even ask them why. I know why. Because I'm going to come up there and make sure that they have their safety equipment. And I'm going to talk to them about getting boat safety card. Well, here's the thing. In the state of Oregon, you can't even get on the water with anything that's 10 horsepower or more without having a boating safety card or a temporary permit for 30 days. It used to be you could go 3 months to 6 months to do it without having to have one. And then you could get one. Not now. I know that the only state that we have that really does not have a required boating safety class is Idaho. And I know eventually, at least I hope eventually, it's going to go to where it has to have it. Most of these are reciprocal, and meaning that if you have one in Oregon, California will accept it, Washington will accept it. So when we're selling the idea to the boating public, we have to make it that they're getting something out of it. So if I'm going on and on and on about safety, it's us too. And what I'm concerned about is that we get out there, number one, and we start reaching these people. But number two, we get back in practice. Okay. And that means that I'd love to see where we're talking these things at every flotilla meeting. I'd love to see where we have that hour-and-a-half flotilla meeting, that a half hour is business and 1 hour is training. Okay. That's what we should be doing. And when you're doing that, you're bringing your people back into the fold. And I really think you're helping retention, because I don't want to go sit for an hour and a half and listen to somebody talk about business. I want to learn something. You know, I told somebody the other day, because my wife thinks I'm crazy, and she's most probably right for all practical purposes, okay? But it'll be midnight, and I'll be sitting there doing some course or studying or doing whatever. She came in one night, and I was doing algebra questions. She said, "What are you doing?" And I go, "It's a course online. I just decided to do it because I haven't did it in 50 years, okay?" And that's the things I love to do. Boating, I decided I wanted to learn celestial navigation. So what I do, I went and got me the books, and I got a sextant and started doing these things. That's what our people want to learn, because we have the time. As you get older, I don't have kids running around, and my grandkids are many states over, okay? And I'm first great grandkid, okay, which is a young boy. And I know that we've already started making him understand that he's going to have anything he wants in the world. And I'm sure you guys are the same. But the point that I'm making is we have the time, and we need to take the time so that we know when we talk to somebody, we know what we're talking about. Do I claim to know other things? Aviation, the people sitting at the table there, they know aviation, some of them. The Admiral and the National Commodore. I have, as I've told many times, I have 5 brother-in-laws that are all involved with aviation and pilots. One of them is my wife's brother, and the other one are brother-in-laws, I guess is the way you'd put it. And when we go for a visit, I go in the other room, and they all stay in one room. Okay? And it makes it easier that way. And, of course, one of them graduated from the Navy, and we went to a wedding of one of the nephews, and believe it or not, he fit into his uniform whites, and I just asked him if he was a waiter. I don't know why he got mad at me, but anyway, long story short, I'll get myself in trouble if I really get to talking here, okay? Thank you for being here. Let's pull it together. Let's get our numbers up. Let's get out there, okay? And we've got the best portion of the season coming up. We're going to have National Safe Boating Week in about another 2 months. Let's make sure that we're lined up. You guys did a fantastic job, even last year, of getting proclamations from all 4 states. All 4, it's never been done before. So that's fantastic. We did. Where's Dale? Dale, you here? There's Dale Vodka back there. He got 10 cities in Washington to all sign proclamations, okay? So when somebody tells me, oh, I don't think they'll do it, or I don't have time, maybe you ought to talk to some people that know how to do it, okay? Somebody, it's kind of like the old saying, I was in Rhode Island for about 15 years, okay? And there was a favorite thing that always happened there is somebody knew somebody, and that somebody knew somebody too. So no matter what, you were gonna, you may find out the wrong information or the wrong person to get a hold to, but you would find somebody that would tell you something. Hey, look, I don't want to talk anymore. I could talk all night long. I love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right.
So as we continue the introduction of our guest speakers, I just want to pause for a moment. It is absolutely delightful to be in this room with all of you once again. And I'm going to introduce our Deputy National Commodore, our National Commodore, in just a second. Imagine, right, you get to a role like the NACOs, and you draw this card, right? You draw this COVID card. You got twice the work, much, much harder stuff to do, Commodore Kirkwood as well, right? And then you don't get to do any of the fun stuff, right? You've had a second career as a leader in this organization, and it's a path that many of you are on right now. So I just have so much empathy for this time, and I am so thankful for your leadership in this really challenging time. And I extend that to everybody else in this room. Maybe division commander is the job you've always wanted, and you pulled this card, right? Maybe you're a flotilla commander for the first time. You haven't had the opportunity to do all the training and build the relationships that are going to help you drive your program forward, and you pulled this card, and you did it anyway. You got the work done, and I hope and pray, as Tiny said, that we're getting back to normal. Things are breaking open. But I just wanted to share my gratitude for these 2 senior leaders in particular, and that extends to everybody. So with that, Commodore Kirkwood, your comments.
What'd you say? I am. I'm gonna go through my notes from the iPhone. So again, welcome everybody. It's great to see you, and I really appreciate your comments. Where'd you go? There you are. It is a bad card. We did draw a bad card. We're just finishing up. I believe we are finishing up the worst 2 years in the history of our organization. And to see the crowd here and to know that people are still dedicated and engaged and ready to serve our country. And help our boaters on the water is really truly amazing. And so thank you all for that. I'm especially pleased because Tiny gets to have a D train. I had 1 D train when I was Commodore, and I did not get to have my second one because of COVID. But we actually had the District 11 South Commodore who never got to have a D train because theirs was right after ours in, was it 20? And so they had to cancel, and they had to cancel 2021. So it's a hard card, but you know what? It's been really great to help our members get through this, to help answer questions, to help them deal with some of the very unpopular decisions made regarding restrictions and reconstitution and the stepping down that we had to do.
So anyway, so great. Thank you for acknowledging that, because it has been a challenge, but I'll tell you, it's still great to be in the auxiliary. So not going to spend too much time on COVID. We've talked a lot about COVID, and like I said, I think we're pretty much done. We're gonna continue to have issues. We're gonna continue. There's a new strain out there, and who knows what's going to happen. But we're at the point now when we've got to say, okay, let's figure out how to work through it, and that's what we're doing. We're working through it. We are learning new ways to deal with COVID, to deal with pandemics, and how we keep moving forward. So. Commodore spoke a little bit about boating stats. I was going to go through boating stats. The 2020 boating season, as you know, was horrific for our nation. Drowning was the #1 reason for deaths, and again, 78% of them were not wearing a life jacket, which is huge. And that has got to continue to be our #1 mission, is recreational boating safety. Whether it's doing a vessel safety check and talking about boating safety, doing public education courses. Just talking to the Elks Club about boating safety, whatever we're doing, that's got to continue to be our mission until we have 0 deaths, which is probably unlikely, impossible. But until we are close to 0, this has got to continue to be our mission. We do it very well, as was shown in 2020 when we were not out there and the deaths went up and the boating sales went up as well. And it's great to see that in Oregon, our numbers came down a little bit last year. And I think we're going to continue to see that across the country in 21 and also this year as well. I want to talk about, this is, I think, what we say, my 5th time talking to the group or parts of the group this weekend. So I want to change my focus just a little bit to show I do have more than a one-track mind. Some things on the national scene that I think you should be aware of. It's amazing the amount of work that gets done at the national level. As you know, we have many directorates. We just have a new directorate being stood up that was approved 2 weeks ago. But some of the things that our members at National are doing, albeit all virtual for the last 2 years, they still are able to get the work done. So one of the things coming out this month is a new revised vessel safety check form. It's got the new fire extinguisher requirements and also the kill switch requirements on it, which is good. That'll help us, I think, again, save lives, reduce injuries and accidents. Prevention's been very busy. They've got 5 new PQSs that they're doing and revising, and 10 new study guides. They actually have written some study guides for some of the marine safety PQSs that didn't have study guides. So it's going to be easier for you to learn the material and get through and be qualified. Public education is just finishing up some 15, 30, and 60-second segments for recruitment. We saw the beginning of those videos, and they still have a little work to do, but hopefully we'll see them by the end of the year come out. We really need to focus nationally on our recruitment efforts. I was speaking earlier to Deborah, and we just don't have a lot of good quality photos out there and stock photos on our website that you can use for recruitment. And everything needs to be vetted through PA because too many times on Facebook or on social media or on a website, we've seen auxiliarists, great pictures, but they're not quite in uniform. And that's a challenge. And so everything's got to go through PA. If we had some of these stock photos, that would be great. If you do take photos locally, make sure your PA goes through and checks them for you. We've completed the ops workshops. All 3 ops workshops, surface, air, and communications are all required this year, as is vessel exams and instructor. And the reason we made the decision to make those mandatory this year or required this year is, number one, we added segments to them specifically around COVID. And the second thing is because we've not all been doing that many vessel safety checks and teaching and all. So it's good just to do a really good review. So please make sure and get those done. Check them out. They're really getting to be higher and higher quality every year. So I'm really pleased with that. The response group recently were able to get some policies for Aux-Air through BSX, and you should have seen those about 3 weeks ago. They came out. There were 9 of them, I think, altogether. One was revised PPE regarding flares, aircraft maintenance that everybody's been waiting for. I know you don't do aircraft, but yet. High frequency antennas, uniform changes, and then they had 4 policy letters as a result of reviewing mishaps, air mishaps in the past couple of years. And then they're just rewriting right now qualification syllabi for pilot, crew, and air observer, which I think is going to help you as you start your program and get going on that. So be looking for that. International Affairs continues to be one of our busiest directorates. They are constantly getting called for both interpreters as well as translation services. Unfortunately, and they've been all over the place. They've been on cutters all over the world for short deployments. Unfortunately, they've had to turn away quite a few missions because we don't have the interpreters that they need. So if any of you speak the following languages, please come see me and I'll get you involved. Korean, Russian, Chinese, Vietnamese, Malay, Tagalog, and Indonesian. Any takers? If you're doing selected, targeted recruitment, you might recruit for those languages. That might help us. So anyway, but they're doing a tremendous amount of work. Some of the shipping mishaps, they get to the bottom of things faster because we have our interpreters in there to help out. I'm not sure if you've seen, but there's a new training management that we used to have a training management and a unit summary report that was that we would be able to get, and that's now available to us again. And so that's great for flotilla commanders. You can look at your whole unit at a time and see what their needs are. There's training management records as well. And the AUX Scout program has really taken off, and in recent months we've actually sworn in several scouts into the auxiliary, and also parents and older siblings. So this continues to be a growing program. And earlier we heard about your AUX Scout program here and how successful it seems to be. So keep that up. That sounds great too. Some new programs. I think National Commodore's going to talk about a couple, but he'll talk about the AUX auxiliary members being involved in fraudulent investigation, maritime fraud investigations. That's been a very successful program right now that the Coast Guard asked us to be involved in, I don't know, just like in September or something, wasn't it? Just last fall, and already we've had success. The Coast Guard asked the response group to get involved in a search and rescue artificial intelligence program, and I spoke about this earlier, where we have members that are looking at 6-second video clips from our Coast Guard aviation group taking videos, and there's 6-second segments to identify what it is they're looking at. Is it a bad guy? Is it a stand-up paddleboarder? Is it a person in the water? Whatever. And so that's a great program. We started with, I think, about 45, 50 members. We've had a few drop out, but we are looking for new members there. So if anybody has a need to do some computer work, let me know. Health services. Last year, health services was expanded for the auxiliary in such that it used to be physicians, physician assistants, nurse practitioners, psychiatrists, pharmacists. As of last year, we started with registered nurses. So this is a great opportunity for registered nurses. When I joined the auxiliary 20 years ago, I was interested in nursing as a nurse, and it wasn't available. But I'm happy to say I'm now out at Trace and Petaluma at their health services, and it's really a great program. So registered nurses, it's a great way to get involved, and they really do need us out there. I'm doing a lot of what's the word? Sorry, my mind has gone. Getting other physicians involved in cases, so doing that kind of stuff. We had entering a few weeks ago, very successful. We had a couple of hundred people there. It was great, again, to see everybody. It was the first time our National Executive Committee was able to get together in person. Poor Alex hasn't gotten to see his group as a group. And it was the first time that I got to see my directorates and work with my directorates in person, which really made a big difference. We had several DSOs there. We had emergency management, vessel examiners, PE, IS, and we had some chaplains out. We had several sea schools, and we had 9 recommendations that went before the board. And what happens if they're approved, that gets changed in the AUX manual. So this is a big deal, and all 9 got approved. So this was a compilation, obviously, of a couple of years. Typically, there's maybe 2 or 3 recommendations at the most at each of our national meetings, which is twice a year. But of course, since we hadn't met in a couple of years, we did that. And then really what was the highlight, at least for me, was the Commandant coming out. And so the Commandant was there and spoke to the group Saturday morning. Very, very, very good. He's a very strong proponent of the auxiliary and had just wonderful things to say about the work that we're doing and the impact that we're having on both the active duty and also on our recreational boaters in the country. NACON is coming up in August in Orlando. It's a great place to be if you like hot weather and lots of humidity. We will be bringing DSOs out again. We're still undecided. We know that we will be bringing our international affairs staff officers out because we expect a large contingency of international visitors. For last year's NACON, we actually had active duty coming from I think one or at least one, if not two other countries, and of course had to be canceled because of COVID. But we expect they'll be out this year and probably in bigger crowds. So we're going to be bringing our international affair folks back to help us with them with interpretation and also kind of helping spearhead it again. And then the others we'll probably bring 3 or 4, maybe 5 other DSO groups out. That's still pending to that will be. We are going to have some sea schools. I talked earlier about AUX 15 and probably 14, which is aviation. So if your program is that far enough advanced in August that you're ready for those sea schools, we'll have them available. There will be some recommendations again before the board, at least 2 or 3, and it's slated to have it be a great week. At that training week, we typically have classes for just general auxiliary membership as well, which is great. I want to acknowledge Tiny and Dan for your work the last 2 years. It's been, looking out at the group, it's a testament to your leadership in terms of keeping people engaged, enthralled, motivated, and really keeping the training going and keeping the meetings going, even if it's virtual. So really hats off to both of you for your work. Again, it's been the most challenging time in our history. I hope, I am Irish and superstitious, that never happens again. It's been challenging to recruit new members, but your district has done well. You didn't lose that many members, and you still stayed pretty good last year. Anyway, and I want to thank you, the 2 of you, for your overall leadership, and then also your DCAPs, your division commanders, flotilla commanders, all of your leadership for really keeping the district moving forward and being as successful. So again, thank you. It's great to see you all, and it's been great to meet everybody. Some of my old D11 North friends that have jumped the coop. I still love you, but yeah, it's good to see people that you know. But anyway, I hope you continue to have a good D-train. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. So let's do an upbeat introduction this time. We're very lucky to have the 35th, sir, National Commodore of the Auxiliary. Okay. Come join us for the entire weekend and for our session this evening. I've been lucky enough to know Alex, I think, for 14, 15 years at this point. Yeah, we're dating ourselves. Well, okay. Just from my standpoint, we're incredibly lucky to have him in this time, navigating this. So without further ado, Commodore, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Mark.
Admiral, captains, Tiny, Dan, thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity to do the fun stuff. This is what I've been looking forward to for the last 2 years, and finally, we get back together. So I am absolutely thrilled. And for those of you watching online, Darren had a great suggestion. You could turn this off now and watch the replay, and then make believe I'm a commercial and fast forward. But this is an exciting time to be here. There's so much going on. And I was talking to Mary beforehand. I'm like, well, I started yesterday at 9 o'clock, and since then I've made 7 speeches. You would think you had enough of me. Tough. You would think that I had nothing else to say. Wrong. But I said this at XCOM yesterday. I go, I've had 2 years of this stuff building up. It's going to come out now, and you're in the way. But it's an exciting time for the auxiliary. I look at this as an opportunity. We hear all these negative things about COVID. I keep finding myself finding, the positive things. There's been so many, there's the silver linings. We've developed all these virtual skills that we're going to keep, with us forever. And think of all the excuses that COVID can be used for going forward. I say COVID is the 21st century version of my dog ate the homework. I'm a lawyer in New York, and I do a little bit of court work, not much, but the courts, they're essentially closed still. And you go to court, well, it's COVID, you can't do this. Oh, it's COVID, you can't do that. Heck with this. It's not going to stop us. And we've proved that, and you've proved that. And we're so fortunate to have people like you. Back in St. Louis, somebody asked me, I went to one of the classes, and it was the ASOC class, and they go, what are the 3 most important things for leaders to remember? I hate questions like that. 3 things. It's like, all I remember is real estate, location, location, location. I'm a real estate lawyer. I know that. So I gave it some thought, and the type of leadership that we do is a lot different than the admiral does and the captains do. We can't tell people what to do. My predecessor, Larry King, would always say, the only thing you can make an auxiliarist do is quit. So we have to lead by example. We have to lead by motivation. And in the last 2 years, we learned how to lead remotely. Another skill. But I thoroughly enjoy coming to these D trains because the people here in the room, they're the leaders. You're the leaders of this district. You're the leaders of the auxiliary. Let's be serious. You're the movers and shakers. You're the folks that get things done. Without the people in this room, if you all quit the auxiliary tomorrow, this district would be gone. You make it happen. So for me, it's an honor to be here with you because, you're the leaders here, and together, we're leading this great organization. And, part of my job here is I'm here to represent the national leadership, which is an honor and a privilege. And I'm here to remind you too, because sometimes, what I would say is when you start out in the auxiliary, you're just in a flotilla and that's your whole world. I call it your flotilla centric because that's your whole auxiliary. Then you become a flotilla commander and you get to go to a division meeting. You go, oh, look, there's other flotillas. We have something in common. Then you move a division, then you become a DCAP and you learn that it's a district, then you learn there's other districts, then you move up to the national and they're all different. But the bottom line is we're all part of the same team. We're all part of the largest and greatest volunteer organization in the world that supports a branch of the military. Who else can say that? Nobody else can say that. And it's so special. I know it's changed my life. I joked the other day, the way I got started is I came home from work one day and my neighbor said, what are you doing? I said, nothing. He goes, get in the car. I go, where are we going? He goes, just shut up and get in the car, which this is New York, so it's socially acceptable. So we ended up in a flotilla meeting, and the reason I stayed was because my niece was in her first year at the academy. I said, well, Kristen's in the Coast Guard, maybe, I'll try this out, see how it goes. And, I sent her an email. I go, I'm in the auxiliary. She goes, Uncle Alex, just leave me alone. So, so then, her second tour, she got a command. She was the commander of an 87, but they sent her to a tough duty station. Who wants to go to Kauai? And I was all excited because I became a flotilla commander. I go, look, we both got commands. And she just said, Uncle Alex, stop this. And then a couple of years ago, I was in headquarters for the Senior Leadership Conference, and she was working in international affairs. So, of course, I didn't tell her I was coming. And I figured out where the office was. And I show up, and we wear the uniform. It looks the same. So I'm walking down the hall with 2 stars on my collar, and people are having strokes. And so I go to international affairs. I go, I'm looking for Commander Hahn. Oh my God, they had a nervous breakdown because I think she was late. So they're all trying to cover. I go, relax. I'm not an admiral. I'm a Commodore. I'm her uncle. Just relax. Just tell her Uncle Alex is here. Yes, sir. I mean, Commodore, fine. So about 2 hours later, I get a call from my niece. She's like, Uncle Alex, never do that again. So I've had so much fun with these situations, and I've had so much fun here today. And I'm so proud to be an Auxiliarist. I'm so proud to be affiliated with this group. We mentioned earlier that I'm not big on quotes, but I like the quote by President Kennedy, and he made it. It was actually 60 years ago this year, and he was talking about America's plan to put a man on the moon by the end of the decade. Just 8 years left. And he said, we do these things not because they're easy, but because they're hard. And it's the hard things that make a difference. And that's the mentality of the auxiliary. It's not easy to be an auxiliarist. It seems to get tougher every day, doesn't it? But it gets tougher for a reason. It's not done to make it difficult. It's done to make us better. It's done to make us more valuable to the Coast Guard. It's done so they can rely on us. So, we have an amazing opportunity here. And we've talked all these things about COVID. To me, it's just an opportunity. It's something we have to make a choice. There's a path and a road, there's a fork. Can we take the path where we take advantage of this and we make us better, we serve the Coast Guard better, or take the other turn, the other path, and say, I'm just going to kick back? I know which way we're going. I'm very confident. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. The Admiral and I met in the parking lot and conspired not to read his biography this evening. I want to note two things. So just a reminder, 26th Ancient Albatross, sir, right? As the longest currently serving Coast Guard aviator. And the other is my wife has an ex-colleague who is deployed with PSU 313. And so, I followed them on Facebook, and I saw when you greeted them on the plane coming home. And I'm not going to talk about you. I'm going to talk about your wife. Because she was right there with you, and she was bouncing, she was excited, and I knew you were a really lucky person. And, that energy, I know that this is hard for the active duty officers here and your spouses and everyone else. So just if we could acknowledge through Mimi, all of the spouses who have supported our programs for a second. Ladies and gentlemen, the district commander.
Thank you, Darren. Appreciate it. And it's my great privilege to be here with you. It's a little warm, though, I think, huh? And welcome to all those who are watching virtually, and of course, all of you here this evening. It really is my pleasure to be here, and in person, it just makes it that much better. I tell you, as I was coming up here, I've got some prepared remarks, which I'll run through rather quickly. But really, the theme of what I'm going to say is thank you. But as I look at the leadership that we have up here, the Commodore, thank you for coming out, Deputy, and Tiny and Dan, and I'm just impressed and really grateful for what you all do. It's clear that you have a sense of purpose, that you've got good, sound leadership, and I'm just, I guess, caught aback with the level of dedication that you really bring to partnering with us. And Darren, thank you for all that you're doing and recognizing our spouses. Those are really the silent partners that help us along, at least on the active duty side, and I suspect probably for all you all in the room as well. All right. So I had a chance to participate in the virtual awards ceremony. That was kind of neat to do and interact. And, I find myself here today, probably like most of you, in full uniform. So I'm not wearing my comfy pants or my slippers while we're doing the virtual stuff. And I have to say, I don't know, these pants seem to shrink a little bit when they're in that closet. But wow, it's great to be here and highlight some of the significant accomplishments that you all have done. And it's great to bring, really friends and family together. And it's a significant accomplishment just being here and having this event. So for all of you and for all the planners, I just want to give a round of applause just for that. Again, the themes of my remarks is just going to be thank you, and I couldn't be happier to be here and spend time with you all at this special event, and with a special part of our Coast Guard family, our auxiliary. So I was first introduced to the auxiliary before I even joined the Coast Guard. My father was active duty Coast Guard, but my grandfather was in the Coast Guard auxiliary for many years in Cape May, New Jersey, and I spent some summers on his 37-foot Egg Harbor charter fishing boat. He was a charter captain. While enjoying those times, I noticed that he had a auxiliary sticker in the cabin, in one of the windows of his cabin, and asked him about it. And I can just remember him talking about what he did in addition to, I was just out there fishing and making some money over the summer, having a good time. But he really reflected on what he was doing to help keep mariners safe and give back to others. And he was a school administrator or principal for most of his life. So most of his professional career was about giving back to others. And I could really sense that in how he shared his experiences with Coast Guard Auxiliary. And that always left a special place in my heart, and why I care so deeply for the auxiliary. And a special thanks also to Tiny and Chief of Staff Dan Keenley for all your spectacular work, working with the Director of Auxiliary to ensure that our auxiliary is able to participate successfully, efficiently, and safely throughout the region. You've heard about some of the challenges that we've had. I've said it before, some of you may have heard it, but it's worth repeating again. The 13th District Auxiliary really is our greatest force multiplier. And what I mean by that is we have active duty and reserve members, and they operate throughout the Pacific Northwest. They're out there doing King's business, saving lives, protecting national security, safeguarding our waterways and their users. And you're beside them really every step of the way, particularly as we are emerging out of this last couple years. And I'm looking forward to more of that in the future. So some of the things you've done: completed over 311 surface patrols and participated in 13 search and rescue missions. And perhaps as importantly, the Coast Guard really remains our only permanent presence in the eastern part of our Sector Puget Sound's area of responsibility. And that really goes to show how crucial your folks are to our active duty members and our ability to execute our missions and keep the public safe. Every day you folks volunteer to support our operational units and help ensure our national strategic objectives. I really mean that. And District 13 Auxiliary is making a difference. And due to all y'all's leadership and your commitment to give back, you're helping make our community stronger at large. And thank you. Thank you again for that. So since I took command last July, I've had the chance to visit almost all of our units, from Bellingham, Washington, down to Brookings, Oregon. And I've experienced firsthand, living out there at Alki Point, some of the harsh environments that we operate in. And we've really had a chance to celebrate some of the work that our men and women do. And those same people are the ones who make our Coast Guard the world's greatest Coast Guard. But really, one of the things that struck me with that comment is what the Commodore said. And you all are a part of a very special organization that also is integral and an effective part, a really integral part of making our Coast Guard the world's best Coast Guard. And I do share that opinion that our volunteers are really the world's best volunteers. So as a district commander, again, I've had a chance to see the auxiliary's positive influence across the entire AOR. And you continue to evolve to meet the challenges over the last couple years, from assisting people through clergy support, legal assistance, food service preparation, supporting some of the operations, the search and rescue missions, the environmental response, and even cybersecurity. And you did all that while we're dealing with COVID-19. And I know the pandemic, let's see, we're streaming this. We're gonna be, I know it was a pain in the posterior, we'll say, for just about everyone, but I can't thank you enough for your commitment to service and working with us through this. And it's been challenging. I know some of the policies and all that we've had have been challenging, and I hope you understand and appreciate that. I know you did, but I really appreciate your patience throughout the process and your continued commitment to stick with us and pursue opportunities to work with our active duty members and really to continue to serve our nation. You've accomplished some incredible things over the last couple of years, even in the face of all this, and you've made outstanding contributions to the recreational boating safety mission. I'm going to read out some numbers here and then recognize some folks and try and keep my remarks fairly short. But you completed well over 4,800 vessel examinations, and your efforts to educate the public included close to 6,000 program visits and over 7,000 hours of public affairs initiatives. And you've also adapted to the complex environment, took advantage, you heard about it before, with virtual platforms, teaching 45 recreational boating safety courses to help the public take the necessary steps to really ensure their safety, particularly as we get ready for the, this blossoming spring and summer season. We're going to see some more activity pick up. And you did all this throughout the pandemic, not letting it sway your commitment to the Coast Guard, to one another, to our active duty members, and really to our nation. And you sustained high standards, and I appreciate that as well. I'm proud of the work that you all do. I'm proud of what you've done over the last 2 years, and I look forward to what the future holds for the next year. As more proof that we're perhaps getting back to a sense of normalcy. We heard about it, and just being here is a part of that. But District 13 Auxiliary is poised to augment the recreational boating safety missions, and our auxiliary director is delegating authority for those missions back to the auxiliary themselves. So I think that's a step in the right direction, and promises to make things go a little bit quicker and a little more efficiently for folks. And I think this is great news as we look forward to deploy you all out through our area of responsibility. And while every single one of you performs great work, and we're going to recognize some folks, before I finish my remarks, I did want to recognize just a few folks that their accomplishments have been shared with me. And I think I've had a chance to meet most, but thank you to Auxiliarist Pat Wilcock. I haven't seen Pat yet. Is Pat here? Well, virtually, thank you. I hope you're catching this. And thank you for the outstanding job that you did as a culinary assistant on the Coast Guard cutter Healy. 4 months at sea, Pat deployed. Wow. And I know that had to be a pretty cool trip circumnavigating North America. And I hope you really enjoyed it. And perhaps even more special, and I offer my personal congratulations, as you were made an honorary chief recently at the all hands on board the ship. And what an accomplishment that is, and really a true honor. So certainly something to remember forever and take pride in. Congratulations, Pat. And thanks to Ron Hilberger. I think I saw him earlier. Right, Ron? Yes. For your outstanding job. We talked about that a little bit earlier, working with our active duty and auxiliary at Columbia River, and really keeping folks tuned in and apprised of all the situations that are going on, both on the aux and the active duty side. And your outstanding contributions with the commercial fishing vessel and examiner, and the trainings that you give alongside the active duty folks. They really help folks in the Columbia River area, not just the mariners, making sure that they're doing things safely and all, but you're really adding value and expanding the knowledge of our active duty folks. So thank you for that. Appreciate it. And Auxiliarist Kent Brown. Do we have Kent with us? Maybe virtually as well. Thank you for your exceptional work in coordinating the same type of things with Sector Puget Sound. And you've been really a rock of foundation for both the active duty and the auxiliary members for a number of years. And you are always thinking about others and keeping everybody informed. And we really appreciate your work as well. So for all those let's just give another round of applause for folks. Thank you. So as I look to the future, I wanted to congratulate our new division officers or division and flotilla commanders, who we're going to recognize a couple here in a moment as they assume their new roles. I certainly hope all the training has been going well. I look forward to your continued leadership, initiative, and dedication to our nation, and I'm really excited to see the valuable impacts that the auxiliary is going to continue to bring in our area. And really appreciate you all working with our active duty folks to ease some of the stresses and hardships that they've endured as well. You know, you all have your various talents. Some may have the gift of, I don't know, leadership. Some may have the gift of hospitality. Some may have the gift of resources or your assets that you share with us. But whatever those gifts are, I really appreciate that you offer them to others, and you offer them to the Coast Guard and our other active duty members in humble service. You know, I don't know if those virtually can hear this or not, but there's a little bit of noise in the background. There's some booms going on every now and then. I got a feeling I might know where Mimi and I may be after this and kicking up a heel or two. But we're looking forward to the rest of the evening. Thank you so much. Thanks you for all that you do. And again, I hope you have a productive weekend. Look forward to the rest of the events. God bless y'all, and Semper Paratus. Thank you.
Thank you, Admiral. We're now going to move into, as the Admiral mentioned, the change of watch ceremony. This decap role that we're about to swear in is one of the most critical ones in our district. The decaps are typically the folks who are then selected to move further in the organization and lead the district. It's an opportunity and a profile to really show up around the district and learn how to operate and have that mindset at the district, and starting to have that mindset of leading the auxiliary nationally as well. We have two of our decaps here tonight. One could not attend, had a conflict. So I'm gonna ask Deborah Alderman and Kevin Thiel to come forward. And Admiral, would you join us as well, sir? And when I say, right, these decaps are the folks who are our future leadership, we're really lucky to have Deborah, Kevin, and Craig. We'll now conduct the change of watch of the 13th District Coast Guard Auxiliary and install our District Captain North and District Captain South for 2022. Before you can take charge of your respective offices, the Pledge of Office will be administered, and it is my pleasure and honor to present the District Commander to administer the Pledge of Office. I will read the prologue. You have offered your talents and services in the interest of a better Coast Guard Auxiliary. The pledge you are about to take admits you to an office of greater responsibility and higher honor. Along with this honor, you must be prepared to accept certain obligations, as well as the administrative and supervisory responsibilities of your office. Your task is to develop the auxiliary programs to the maximum efficiency that conditions permit. You are expected to promote close liaison between the auxiliary and local Coast Guard units, constantly reminding the members that their actions reflect not only on the auxiliary, but upon the United States Coast Guard. Would everyone please rise?
Thank you, Darren. I am going to have to read this, so please raise your hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear and sincerely pledge myself to support the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary and its purposes to promote its authorized activities, to properly discharge the duties of my office, and to abide by the governing policies
and to abide by the governing policies
established by the Commandant of the United States Coast Guard.
established by the Commandant of the United States Coast Guard.
Congratulations.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks.
The important person. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you at Outcome.
Absolutely. I think we're going to get the place cleaned up a little bit.
Please be seated. Active duty leadership, members and officers of the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary, and our honored guests. Having sworn in our district captains, we now have formally a complete bridge, and it gives me great pleasure to announce the officers of the 13th District Auxiliary have taken their pledge of office and, well, remain in charge. Our Commodore, Tiny Singler, our District Chief of Staff, Dan Keenley, our District Captain North, Deborah Alderman, our District Captain South, Kevin Thiel, and our District Captain East, Craig Hartman. Congratulations. Commodore and our Chief of Staff, awards.
You gonna read them when we hand them out, or what you want to do?
You're in charge, sir. I'd be happy to read them.
Thank you, sir.
I think I was actually getting direction there, wasn't I? Not always the fastest guy.
These awards were announced, okay, and when we had our award ceremony, but you didn't physically get them, all right? And so what we're gonna do is, if you happen to be here and you are one of the individuals of the flotilla commander, you're more than welcome to come forward. If not, would the division commander for that flotilla or individual come forward, and you will carry them home so that at your next meeting, you can give them to them. They mean a lot. There were a lot of work that went into these. This is the production for last year. And, you know, John and I, and you have to understand, John started back here, spends most probably a week or two going through and calculating these and making sure that it's the right winner. So we call him not only the Mr. Everything, because he does everything, but he is so meticulous, okay, that I dare you to find a mistake, okay? It won't happen, all right? So I wanted everybody to understand why we're doing this tonight, but I want it in your hands. You deserve it, and our members that have worked hard for this. So with that, please.
Your preference to start with flotillas?
Let's start with flotillas.
Yes,
They're
sir.
the meat of the work. Are we doing, what do you got there, ribbons first or? Yeah, let's do,
I was going to go from culinary assistance this direction. We want to save that one for last, right? Or do you want me to start here?
start there.
Okay,
Yeah.
understood.
So we're doing the ribbons.
So we are going to present the streamers for a number of different program areas, and then at the end, we'll present the streamer for the flotilla of the year. The flotilla that won the Flotilla Member Training Award and streamer for 2021 was Flotilla 87. It's the green one. Our flotilla who won the Flotilla Recruiting Award for 2021 was Flotilla 24. Orange, gentlemen, orange.
you again. Thank you.
Once we recruit, we then need to retain. So the Flotilla Award for retention is Flotilla 25. It's the Brown Award.
You know, while they're on the way up, the reason we busted this up is because I think each one of these is just as important. We used to have them together. But I'm telling you, it's one thing to recruit them, and that means you. It's another thing to retain people. And the only way we do that is by treating people right. So this is a great job. Great job.
The Flotilla Award for Navigation Systems goes to Flotilla 11. The Flotilla Award for Coast Guard Operations Communication goes to Flotilla 52.
You know what? I would say stand up here because you're going to be up here many times, but I'm not going to let you.
We could get you an adjacent chair.
Let him get all the way back first.
The Flotilla Award for Coast Guard Operations Support goes to Flotilla 62. The Flotilla Award for Operations Patrols in 2021 goes to Flotilla 52. We're not going to let him get all the way back. No. The Flotilla Award for Program Visits in 2021 goes to Flotilla 53. Apparently, two can play this game. The Flotilla Award for Public Affairs in 2021 goes to Flotilla 52. The Flotilla Award for Public Education is awarded to Flotilla 11. The Flotilla Award for Vessel Exams in 2021 goes to Flotilla 53. And it's delightful to see a new streamer for a growing program. I don't know, Tiny, have we ever awarded this one in prior years, or is this brand new this year? Okay, we've had one cycle. So the Flotilla Award for Culinary Assistance goes to Flotilla 712.
great job. You got it done.
Which brings us to the final Flotilla Award, Flotilla of the Year. As everyone knows, the flotillas are the beating heart of this organization. It's where the work gets done. And in the case of this flotilla, the work certainly got done. Flotilla 53.
Great job, Steve. Great job, both of you guys. All right. Good. Don't knock my head off the same guy.
Moving to our division awards, the division award for member training in 2021 went to Division 10.
Oh, you know what? Not here, so we'll have to mail it.
Does that also mean we don't get to send the distance award home with him? Inside joke. There's an enormous award.
Well, if it's that little plaque that comes from the BDCA, I'm sorry, guys. My wife told me I could never bring that home again. And you'll have to see it to understand what I'm.
It's beautiful, but it's large. Our 2021 awardee at the division level for retention is Division 2.
Great job, Paul.
And I'm going to try to rush it in here. The Division Award for Recruiting in 2021, also Division 2.
Great job again. I love it. If two guys getting a lot of exercise tonight. John was in there too. So.
Our award for navigation systems at the division level for 2021 is Division 1. One of these years, I'm going to get smart and suggest we reserve seats at the front of the room for the division commanders. The award for Coast Guard Operations Communications for 2021 is Division 5.
You're gonna have to get a bigger string to hold all these on.
The 2020 award for Coast Guard Operations Support is Division 6. The 2021 award for Operations Patrols is Division 5.
I know we can make this a little easier. I'm so sorry.
The award for Program Visits in 2021 is Division 5. The award for Public Affairs in 2021 is Division 5. It isn't me. Here we are. The award for Public Education in 2021 is Division 1. The award for vessel examinations in 2021 is Division 5.
You know, we're joking, but it's a heck of an honor to, and what a job. That you and the other division commanders have made several trips up here. That's trips that I know that we never worry about making, even though they're a little bit difficult, but it's a great job that was done. Getting that many awards and making, and get the members out there.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Our final award, before we return to Division of the Year, is for Culinary Assistance, Division 7.
And I'll give you a little hint. Pat Walcott is in what division?
I don't know, that sounds like it might have used up all of the hours in Knox data. And finally, our Division of the Year. Congratulations to Division 5. Individual awards, sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to, are you doing the individual or the decaps?
Which would you like, sir?
Let's do the decaps first.
Outstanding. So a flotilla is awarded in each of our 3 areas, north, south, and east. This is the District Captain's Award for member training. For south, Flotilla 5-4. For north, Flotilla 41. And for the eastern area, Flotilla 10-3. And gentlemen, I think we're going to have to hold on to that one as well.
Yeah, that's good, because we're still. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, we're ready.
10 years ago, I would have made an age joke, but now I am just calling myself out. We're going to move into the individual awards. For member training, Mary Shuck, Flotilla 7-6.
I got to tell you a little secret before she sets back down. We had the Medford Sportsman Show, and I've never seen anybody work that many hours and still smile. Okay, she came from the Portland area down to Medford and was there for 3 days. And you know what? I didn't worry about anybody being there because I knew Mary was there. Great job, though, Mary. Thank you.
Well, and the other thing, Tiny, is she's my flotilla commander, so she has all that energy after dealing with me. True hero. All right. Navigation systems. Edward Madura, Flotilla 18. Operations, Communications, Cameron Young, Flotilla 52. Operations Support, William Stenberg, Flotilla 62. Patrols, Richard Martinson, Flotilla 12. Program Visitation, Thomas Murphy, Flotilla 53. Public Affairs, Deborah Cordone, Flotilla 52. Public Education, Brenda Belongi, Flotilla 51. Vessel Examination, Lauren Zemelak, Flotilla 53. I'm trying to catch him. And finally, Culinary Assistance, Patrick Wolcott, Flotilla 712. These guys have been working way harder than you think. These bags just don't want to hold these things. So we're going to present the Golden Quill Awards. So for the Flotilla Golden Quill, recognizing the best flotilla publication in the district, we have 2 News Flotilla 22.
Maybe we can get you to do a different one.
Our Division Golden Quill Award goes to the Flag Hoist, Division 6. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of my favorites every year. Our 2021 District Auxiliarist of the Year is Heidi Brennenhoff.
Heidi also an HR person. She will get them signed up. She's somebody after my own heart. I guarantee you. It's not like anything like I'll see you tomorrow. It's sign the line here, please. Let me take your picture. Thank you. John, did you send her? Never mind. We'll talk later.
Would you like to present these? Would you like to announce these? How would you like to do that, sir?
Yeah, well, you can name them. That's fine.
You have 4.
Let's do.
Mark Hannibal, would you please come forward?
Mark, this is appreciation for being the DDC response, okay?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and now, so you know, it's not like he left out doing it. We just just asking to switch from response to prevention, okay? So, thank you very much. Great. The unfortunate thing is the other three are not going to be here. I don't think John Costick is here, is he? Okay, Division 6, you want to come get this for John? John was our DCAT last year. He decided not to go the second term, but he did a great job on the thing, okay? I can't believe our, so I got to tell you about the next one. This is Ephraim Krischer, who did 2 terms as DCAT. And so Maggie, after 15 years, Maggie Albert decided, I don't want to be finance anymore. So I asked real sweetly to Ephraim, will you be my finance manager for this coming year? And he looked at me with this look like, you know, I don't want to be 4'2" like she is. Because we have a joke, since she got out of the office, she's grown to 6'2". All right, so that there's no pressure. But Ephraim had to leave early. He was here and stuff. He's going to do a great job as our finance DSO for finance. And the last one here, Will is retired. Will Whalen. If any of you in this room met Will, you would tell me what a loss. Okay, I've known Will for 10, 11 years. Okay, I asked him to do prevention as DDC, and as his last job, he was DCAP for a couple of years. He was division commander down in the Division 5 area. And so year before last, I said, Will, I need you to go with prevention again. And he looked at me and, you know, he said on the phone, he said, but I'm retired. I said, no, you need to wait 1 more year, okay? He did that, all right? Then the next year it didn't work. Okay? But Will had some problems with his eyes and stuff, and was getting to the point where driving at night was a problem. But he'll be sorely missed. I know John misses him being an IS, and I know several of you, Dennis over there, with him, Kenny Kent and stuff, but he was one of my favorite people in all of Division 5 area and District 13 as a whole. He never said no. And the Doryman knew him, they at the beach, and when it came to another favorite of mine was Larry Cox, who had to retire, and of course he's living in Costa Rica now. And between those two people, we lost a lot in this district. But anyway, this is for Will. We'll get it to him. I know John knows where he's at and stuff. And he's in Arizona, right? Yeah, he's in Arizona. But what a loss. What a loss. But thank you, though. Okay.
Commodore, I believe that brings us to the end of our formal program. Last word?
I always get a last word in, except at home. I never get the last word in, okay? I've learned one thing over these years is that, you know, I let my wife get the last word no matter what. And I just go, okay, babe. All right. She asked me, how you like my hair? Long or short? I like it both ways. You look good both ways, you know? I don't know how I became a politician, but that is not being a politician. That's living, okay? So anyway, I do appreciate, I'm going to offer it. Captain, do you have anything that you would like to say before we get out?
It's a privilege to be here, Tiny. Thank you so much. And it's a privilege to be out here with everybody that does so much for the Coast Guard, for our recreational boater community. What a privilege to serve with you together.
Thank you, sir. My pleasure you being here. Captain Burkett?
I couldn't say that any better. Just ecstatic to be here, to see you guys in person for the first time for me, just coming here this summer. And I just want to really reiterate my thanks to Bolson Robinson for the administrative help he's put together and helping put this D-Train on tonight. He's been in the office just kind of running himself crazy, but he enjoyed every minute of it. And hopefully, from a Coast Guard perspective, we can get things running right from just the I guess you could say just the bureaucracy side, where we got to get all this stuff put into the system and the computers, and it's just not working right now. But we're trying to get all those things taken care of so that we can make sure you guys get out there and get paid for all the work that you're doing to assist us. We really appreciate it. And as always, anything that I can do, our office can do to help. You know how to get in touch with me. I'm always willing to help you guys out.
Captain Burkett, thank you so much, and it's a pleasure for you being here. Captain Cedarholm, anything to say? I know you're a short timer, but.
You guys are writing a heck of a story. You're all contributing first. That's a very admirable thing. So take pride in what you do.
Thank you. And once again, my many thanks to Rear Admiral Douglas for being here and his wife, Mimi. And I really appreciate the National Commodore being here. It's been a pure pleasure and an honor. It's something that I've not seen since I've been in the 13th Coast Guard District of a National Commodore coming to visit us. So that's many thanks. Our Deputy National Commodore, she doesn't get that many calls from me. I try to not bother anybody. But I think she kind of knows when I do call that it's kind of important. Okay, so that's how we leave it. To me, we handle things at home, and we take care of business. I do mean it. What I said earlier on tonight about, it's just a great feeling right now. By the time I get out of here, I will have been this Commodore for this district for going on almost 4 years. Okay. It's been a pleasure, and it's still a pleasure. All right. It's been an honor. It's something that I've wrote many times in stuff that I put out to you in letters and emails and stuff. This is something that will always be one of the biggest honors that I've had in my lifetime. And I mean it. I have to say, I'm on a touch base to see if our Chief Warrant Officer Robinson has anything that he'd like to add tonight, though.
I really don't, Commodore. I mean, I've said it, I've spoken enough already. You guys all, I think everybody here knows how I feel about you guys. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And you know what? All joking aside, Captain Burkett kind of touched base on it a little bit. But I have to tell you, for all these orders, okay, to happen, he spent a multitude of time and hours of work. And now, don't take this badly, okay? But they made up this task force in Washington. Am I correct here? And they assigned an admiral to it, okay? I think they might have somebody that's sitting at that table there that might be able to help. Okay. And I knew I'd get that. Okay. Anyway, thank you very much and enjoyed it. And please be careful and safe and thank you. Okay.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we are formally adjourned, which means we have a question and answer. Are you ready to raffle?
I'm going to walk upstairs and get them. Okay.
So do we have tickets?
Oh, you know what? I'm going to go get that. You got the tickets? I got tickets. And I got my tickets.
Let's take about a 5-minute break before we start the raffle. Everybody's been sitting. You probably want to stand up, stretch, enjoy yourselves a little bit. And it has gotten very, very hot in here. Unless you want to do it. Unless you want to do it. Okay. Well, I need somebody to help. I'm just going to talk.
I know somebody.
You can recruit somebody.
I will.